Yeah.
All right, it is
No, 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 no.
7:10
Thank you.
PM and Monday, September 11th, and we will call the budget hearing, the annual budget hearing for the Somerset School District to order. I'm the Board of Education President, Nancy Dressel. We also have our District Administrator, Dr. Mark Bezek, and our District of Business Services and Operations Director, of Business Services and Operations, Dave Gerberding here. And Dave, I'll turn it over to you.
Sure. If you look on page 3, we're going to do the budget hearing first, as Nancy said. The one comparison on this page 3 under the welcome, it shows the percentages of revenue that we expect from local sources versus state sources this year compared to last year. As we've talked about throughout the budget process and over the last couple of years, the local sources are increasing, i.e. generally speaking, the local levy is increasing. As state sources, equalization aid is decreasing. So you can see that it's not a huge change over time, but you can see that it is changing. If we turn the page 4, the budget planning calendar. This is, as you can see, August of this year and September now. The general framework for how things operate as far as budget process goes in a given year. This year, as we just had discussion at our work session prior to this meeting, we will also incorporate the results of the HR audit and the compensation studies into this process. Hopefully, it was discussed November, December, but certainly it sounds like in time for the first draft of the personnel budget, which you can see is in March of 2018. Turn to page 5. 5 through 8 are the budget compared to 16, 17 unaudited. That's just officially unaudited. The audit isn't final, though the auditors have been on site, and most of the work is done on the 16, 17 audit. And the 15, 16 numbers, which are audited and finalized. So you can see over the last 2 years the change compared to the 17, 18 budget, which of course we are already starting in the midst of since July 1st. So the general fund begins with the fund balance, the change, and then the revenue sources, the expenditure sources. When you turn the page, you can see the special projects fund, and same. That includes Fund 21, which is donations and special projects, along with special ed is combined in this as well. Debt service, that's both referendum debt and non-referendum debt. Capital projects fund, we use that when we have a building project, when we sell bonds, and we're actually in the midst of building. We saw that when we had the high school addition. Obviously, there's nothing going on right now as far as building referendum fund. The food service fund, self-explanatory. Community service, the largest component within that fund is school-age care. Last year we started wraparound and started it at a greatly reduced rate. This year it's up a little bit, so it should once again be a net positive over the course of the year. As we go forward with community service, that's something that we want to expand as far as community education goes as well. This is where those expenditures and revenues will go. So if you turn to page 8, all funds, expenditures, again over time, revenues and expenditures. This is all funds added together, even though some things are counted twice, such as transfers. You can see are pulled out 1.8 million for 17-18. Small increase from 15-16 to 16-17, and again from 16-17 to this year's budget. And then you can see the proposed property tax levy underneath that, broken out by the different funds: the general fund, the referendum fund, and the non-referendum. So percentage increase of the levy, increasing again slightly. 3.37 is the projected amount now. And these numbers as we've been talking about throughout the budget process, will depend greatly on what the count is this Friday, the third Friday count in September. This is our big membership snapshot. And so, as discussed, we expect a small increase. If that doesn't occur, we'll have we'll have to adjust the revenues a little bit. On page 9, you can see a 10-year tax levy history with equalized value for the district, broken apart by operational levy and debt service levy, and the associated mill rate. The mill rate is just a calculation, and so the equalized value does play into that quite a bit, and so when the value was going down district-wide, the mill rate was going up, because that was the biggest driver in that. Now the equalized value is going up. We're estimating about 8% district-wide. So even though the levy's going up a bit, the projected mill rate is going down. You see tax levy by municipality underneath that. The 5 municipalities. And at the very bottom, we have the estimated dollar levy for each municipality and the percent change over the prior year. And the bottom percentage is the equalized value percent change for that municipality. That's estimated based on the numbers that the Department of Revenue provides to counties for their work on August 15th. And we will get ours finalized October 15th. Page 10, this is the same information just represented graphically. You can see the charts are truncated. And the bar graph on top is just showing between 3 and 5 million, 3 and 8 million rather. The mill rate on bottom is showing between $7 and $14. But nonetheless, you can see a few years of trend. And then on page 11, this is our outstanding referendum approved debt. So these are the bonds that were sold to 2 different projects. And we're coming to the end of a couple of them within a couple of years. And that's the end of the information that I have to present. Are there any questions on the information that I went through?
All right, so that brings a close to the budget hearing. So we will begin the annual school district meeting at 7:18 p.m. And the first item of business is to elect a chairperson. Is there anyone willing to make a motion regarding electing a chairperson for annual?
I'll nominate Dave Brock.
So Patty Schachner has moved to elect Dave Bracht as the chairperson. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Marie?
I like that, Dave.
It wasn't a big surprise. Just be there, just be there.
All right, all those in favor of nominating Dave Bracht as chairperson of our annual meeting, please say aye.
Aye.
All those against? All right, motion passes unanimously. So Dave, I'm gonna turn the meeting over to you.
Right from there then?
Yeah.
Nobody know what to do.
You
Nobody
do,
told
you
me-
just come up here
nobody
and I get
told
to
me what to do.
Just lay off the hammer.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna make it up.
totally, let's make it up. Look at page 12 and ask for some nominations to elect a teller and go from there.
Page 12. Does anybody have a nomination to elect a teller? I don't even know what a teller is, but.
I, Robert Gunther, move to elect Tasia as the teller for
We
Tasia
have a
Virgin.
motion, anybody second that?
I'll second it.
Second, Courtney will second that. All in favor of Tasia being the teller for this meeting? In favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Tasia, because you're the teller.
You're a natural, you're a natural.
I've been at a few meetings, but I'll screw something up. I'll screw something up. The chair for annual meeting minutes. 2016 annual minutes, are we looking for a motion to approve the minutes? Is there minutes to approve? I don't
The
remember.
minutes are there, doesn't look like there's a motion on that. I think the next motion is the treasurer's report.
Treasurer's report, Courtney Kukowski.
Which will be actually Courtney.
Treasurer's report.
Treasurer's report, page 15. This is broken down by fund. You see the beginning fund balance, which is a snapshot in time. It includes receivables and payables. The example that I often give for the general fund is the large tax payment that is received from St. Croix County in mid to late August is included as of June 30th as a receivable. So this isn't actually a cash balance, but it is a snapshot in time, taken every June 30th. So you see the beginning fund balance for each of the various funds. You see the revenues and expenditures. They have the stars up on top to indicate that it is, again, unaudited, officially unaudited, though the audit is nearly completed this time. We have the ending fund balance and then the change in fund balance for the 16-17 year. Underneath, we do note that the retirement trust fund is managed by Mid-America. We indicate the interest earned in the 16-17 year. And also the ending fund balance in the general fund, 21.29% of 2016-17 expenditures, 20.81% of the budget 17-18 expenditures. And that is the treasurer.
Any questions about the treasurer's report?
Do you know what the recommended fund balance is for to get rid?
There's no recommended statewide. It's municipality by municipality, school district by school district. Our policy, I believe, is 15 to 25%.
Thank you.
Page 16, we need to approve the treasurer's report.
If there's no other questions for the treasurer's report, we'll look for a motion to approve the 2017 treasurer's report, 16-17.
I'll make that motion.
Nancy?
Mm-hmm.
Nancy, anybody second that motion?
Second,
Linda?
Linda Hennessy.
Linda Hennessy, seconds. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried to accept the treasurer's report as reported. Business, the next thing on the agenda is business, page 17 through 23. I don't know who's doing.
I'll take care of that. These are information items. If you look on page 17, snapshot of what our enrollment is. If you focus down in the lower right-hand corner, you see the guesstimate of bodies we have in school at 1563, which is a change from last year at this same time of 28. And when you look at the numbers, if you jump up to the top of that column there and you look at the difference between JK last year and this year, you can see that's where most of the discrepancy comes in. We have a very low JK class this year. We knew that. We were tracking that all summer. With the exception of that, the rest of our grades are fairly stable. Now, Dave, is this the third Friday? Is this the count Friday here?
This Friday.
Okay, this Friday is where we have our actual hard count on who's here and who left us. It usually takes us a week or two to flush that out in any district, because typically, I shouldn't say typically, but as it happens that people leave, they don't tell us. And people do show up the first day and say, oops, I forgot to register my 6 kids, take them. And I don't know if I've seen that this year yet, but again, by this point in time, all the moving and shuffling should be done, so Friday we'll have an accurate count. And that's what Dave alluded to before, that'll tie into our funding and some of the changes, possibly some budget numbers, I'm assuming. Am I assuming correct? Okay. So that's our enrollment breakdown. The next item, if you turn the page in your booklet, is the strategic plan, which I'm extremely excited about the deployment of that this year. The main components you have here, you know, you've heard our mission, our tagline, our core values, what we live by, how we treat people, our 2 outcomes, our 4 strategies. And we have all the result, on page 19, all the result statements that the entire staff worked on last spring, with action plans and benefit and cost analysis tied to those. The delimiters on page 20, which is an extremely important part of the plan, which really protects the plan over time. I do want to read those. The delimiters are always stated in a negative phrase. We will not allow resistance to change to impede progress on our strategic work. We will not forget who our stakeholders are, limit their input, or assume their understanding. And we will not tolerate behaviors which denigrate any person or population, which really addresses our ever-changing diversity in our population, our community, and our student base. The next piece are the result statements that we've chosen to work on this year. Typically, you want to really concentrate on maybe 3 or 4 of those. We have chosen a very aggressive path this year of putting 10 on the table, knowing that some of these are multi-year result statements. But the object here is to collect as much data on these individual pieces and present it to the core planning team next May for them to say, yes, you've accomplished this, this is the way we do business in this area, and we can put that to rest. Or no, you need more work. There's a rubric set up for them to evaluate each one of these. And in the 4 strategic areas and the measurement area, we have different results we've pulled out. I won't go through those, but again, some of those are low-hanging fruit, so to speak. We do a lot of this, but now we're going to concentrate on really focusing and gathering data on that. So again, there's 10 of them that will be in play. I would guess that I would say we will accomplish at least half of those, if not more, this year. They are all led by a different person, whether it be an administrator or staff, but they're people that were on in the group that originated the result. So I feel very comfortable with the ones we have on the table. And again, this is our roadmap to the future, and it starts this year. So that's what we have with the strategic plan. 17-18 goal, was that the board goal? What's that? Oh, okay, so the results are these, I'm sorry. Let's see, state testing results. All the relevant testing that we have is embargoed right now. So we really have nothing to report, but the embargo should be lifting soon. I would, Trish?
Well, the end of the month, our school and district report cards will be released. I would think it would be similar timing. We have to wait for DPI to put out a press release, and then we'll be able to share.
So again, awkward timing with this, that, you know, they want us to report here, but we could go over last year's results, but I don't think we want to do that. I think from what we've seen, we're pleased with some of the information we're going to get, I will say that. So again, that one will be embargoed though. Projects, we have no significant, any large scale projects as far as facilities on the table. Some of the ongoing maintenance that we're looking at, some of those things that we're doing.
Nothing significant. This is a list that George provided of things that his department worked on in 16-17.
You know, as it ties in with one of Dave's results on the strategic plan, we'll be doing an ongoing assessment of needs and gearing up for some possible referendum action in the near future as far as, you know, how we want to reshape the district and some of the things that we're lacking in. So that will be forthcoming. So again, no major projects right now. And then F is the 17-18 school calendar, which again has gone through the filter. We're on that. As far as we did have a new twist with the calendar being mailed out to district residents. I have to say that, 99.9% of that calendar was Renee Chapek's work. Did a fantastic job, a lot of good compliments of it, on it. And it'll become, you'll see over years, people will be disappointed if they don't get it on a certain date. It's something that they'll start looking forward to. And it really helps explain, rather than the hieroglyphics we have to look at here. We really have to be a cryptologist to figure this one out, so. That's all I have for general information, unless there's any questions on any of the pieces that I shot through fairly quickly.
Okay, no questions on the business, A through F there. We'll move on to, resolution. Who's doing resolution? I'm doing resolution?
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
I like the first one, the real estate one.
Maybe there's a conflict of interest there.
It authorizes the board to acquire real estate. That's good. I thought maybe they all had that, they always had that, but apparently they didn't. Because I've wrote offers for the school board, the board before.
It's authorized every year.
Oh, reauthorize.
We have to reauthorize, yeah. All these are just,
All right. So are we
Maybe
looking
these
for
are not
motions?
gonna-
Are we
we're not
looking for
planning.
motions?
Yes.
yeah.
All right, I'm looking for a motion to authorize the board to acquire real estate. Anybody make that motion?
I so move.
Elizabeth,
And I will second.
second.
Third.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passed to authorize the board to acquire real estate.
I think you need to actually say what the resolution was.
The resolution was, we're approved to authorize the board to acquire real estate, at least for the next year. We'll revisit that again next year from today.
And then, any opposed at the end?
Any opposed?
Yeah.
Any opposed? Motion carried as read. The next motion is gonna be to designate sites for district buildings and provide for the erection of suitable school buildings. Designate sites for district buildings and provide for the erection of suitable school buildings. I don't really know what that means, but, anybody wanna make that motion?
I'll make that motion.
Motion, second?
I'll second it.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed to that, as read? I don't have to read that again. The next, direct and provide for the prosecution and defense of legal procedures. We're looking for a motion to direct and provide for the prosecution of defense and legal procedures.
I'll make that motion.
Motion, Marie?
Tricia Sheridan, second.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? That motion will be approved as read. Next motion is authorize actual and necessary expenses for the school board members for travel when required.
I'll make that motion.
Motion? Anybody second that motion?
Second.
Second motion?
Aye.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? That motion is carried as read. Next one, act on settling school levy for 2017-18.
I'll make that motion.
Motion. Pardon?
Can I read that one?
Absolutely.
The resolution is, be it resolved that there shall be levied upon the taxable property of the school district of Somerset the tentative sum of $5,260,942 for the purpose of defraying the operation and maintenance of the public schools for the 2017-2018 school year. The projected mill rate shall be $9.49 per $1,000 value.
Okay, we're looking for a motion to approve that statement.
I'll make that motion.
Motion,
I'll
second, Lori, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried as read.
Yes.
Authorize the sale of property and/or items. Need a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Lori?
Lori Belargin, Township of Somerset.
Second,
I'll second, Bob Dunkert.
Bob Gunther. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carried as read. Set Board of Education salaries for 2017-18. Nobody wants to do that one?
Chris Cameron.
And I'll second.
Chris, can you read that so it's on the record?
Be it resolved by the electors of the School District of Somerset, the yearly salary for the members of the Somerset Board of Education for the 2017-18 school year at $2,000 for the president, $1,800 for the vice president, clerk, and treasurer, and $1,500 for all members, and that all committee members will receive an additional $25 per meeting for attending special and committee meetings.
Discussion on that? I think we had, did we already have a motion? We already had a motion and a second, and now we have now discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Set the date for the 2018 annual meeting. I'm gonna suggest Monday, September 10th, 2017. Looking for a motion.
2018.
18? Ooh, 18. It says 17 on my thing here.
I'll make that motion.
2008. Second?
For Sheridan.
For Sheridan, second that motion. That's gonna be for setting it for September 10th, 2018. We have first and a second, all in favor?
What time?
At 7
7
p.m.
o'clock PM.
These motions. will
7
be
p.m.
ready.
7 p.m.
Good job.
Right here,
7 PM.
right here. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Looking for a motion to adjourn?
Wait, can I have a discussion, please?
Yes, ma'am?
Right, being in small town America, I keep hearing, they're selling all the desks at the high school and putting in couches. What do you know about that? So I'm going, I don't know. So here I see you even made a motion to sell tangible property.
Well, that's very typical with, and it,
Well, I know,
We're not replacing
I
it.
live in Somerset
oh,
for a while.
okay.
But what is happening with,
It's just whatever surplus,
no, but I mean, what is, apparently in some rooms, they are taking desks out.
well, there's some different seating in some rooms. I don't know if we're putting I don't know
Yeah,
yet.
Hannah loves it.
Pardon?
Hannah loves it.
No, we've put in some other seating in along the hallways and things like that. They're just gathering spots that are different than we've had in the past, but there's no
It is
wave
like-
of changing everything we have. This is very subtle changes. I don't know where the
So
coach
in,
piece,
in the classroom rather than,
I guess,
can I visit school as a taxpayer and walk around during the school hours?
I actually asked, because I had heard the same thing, so I went in and asked, and Shannon gave me a tour, and it was quite lovely, and it's different learning spaces, they're combinations, different teachers have different, it's not in every room, but they have different ideas for learning spaces, coaches were donated, nothing was sold.
No, it was just.
Yeah,
But yes, of course you can go
Yeah.
ahead.
But I
No,
mean,
I-
it was, but Shannon, the kids love it, so it's like, it's, when they do collaborative learning, they can sit in together instead of that, stiff kind of,
desk and
desk,
table.
sit- yeah. I mean, it's only expected. I look at my own workspace at work, I got a stand-up, sit-down desk, and, I'm moving all the time. I mean, that's the wave of the future, we're not. And I think it was very proactive, and the classrooms look really comfortable. I would suggest that you go take a look at it.
Well, I would hope like in the Richmond paper, you have a picture of one of the classrooms, because apparently that is the talk.
Well, don't hold your
That's a
breath
good
to get
idea.
pictures in the paper
In the town.
from here,
Or
from
what's it?
Somerset. It's very tough to get information in that paper
Oh,
about what
really?
we're doing
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
But just from
They've
the
changed
changes
their
I've
format.
seen in the
Yeah.
hallways and
really?
things like that,
Yeah,
these
it is
spaces are being used by
smaller.
kids now and,
Even may I speak?
nope.
No, you make
I
that.
didn't know like how far more. There's a lot of research about flexible spacing, about the way kids learn. And even one of our PTs in town is thrilled. She has a senior at our high school, and she is thrilled because to take a child, a student, out of a hard chair and desk situation and let them choose what is most comfortable for them, given whatever learning is intended to go on. From a physical standpoint, she was
So
thrilled.
you've come a long way from the 90-minute classrooms, from one extreme that you had with the 4-period day.
Anybody have any more general questions? Annual meeting questions? Did we already do a motion to adjourn? Did we? Motion, we're looking for a motion to adjourn, if nobody has any questions.
I'll make that motion.
Marie,
I'll second
seconded by Katie.
Curtis.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion adjourned. I want to do this part.
Oh.
Nice job, Steve.
We found anyone in the wheelchair?
I'm glad you
When do you want to get, when do you want to, when do you want to?
Hello, neighbor.
Want to get the way up.